First of all, let's talk about the what. What
Sure.
specifically is the unmet need that you help financial professionals address?
Sure. I would say the unmet need really is them connecting with their clients around this aspect of what is really on their client's mind, which is how this wealth is going to live well into their beneficiaries, particularly their next generation, their children's lives. So the what is that this is a significant concern. And we know this in part from research that's been done, but one of the most interesting pieces of research was an open-ended question Boston College, the Center on Wealth and Philanthropy, sent out to 75 families with over $25 million. Open-ended question, what was the most important thing to them regarding their wealth? And of course, coming from the Center on Wealth and Philanthropy, they were expecting to hear things like, I'd like to cure cancer or solve malnutrition or whatever. And nearly universally, the responses were, the most important thing to me is to be a good parent, and I am worried that this money is going to get in the way. So they're a bit lost in terms of how to navigate passing on wealth in a way. They're concerned about demotivating their children. They're concerned about entitlement. And they don't really have a lot of information or tools, if you will, for helping this to go well. And a lot of times they'll look to their advisor and wonder, and the advisors aren't necessarily themselves equipped with answers that help meet that unmet need.
Okay. And I'm assuming that just the demographic shifts that are occurring is just accelerating and amplifying all of.
Sure, the amount of wealth that is in motion currently, it's a ballooned significantly in the last 20 years. And so there's a significant amount of money in motion, a significant amount of wealth being created, as we alluded to in the beginning of our conversation. And particularly for people who have created wealth, they don't have a roadmap for this. They didn't grow up with it. They don't quite know what to do being born into wealth. One of the analogies is there's like an immigrant family. They've just relocated to the area of wealth, but their children are born natives. And that's a real tension of how do you navigate a world that your children are born into that you are not familiar with.
Interesting analogy. And financial advisors more than ever wear a lot of hats, especially in these last 5 years. And again, especially with the clients that are that proverbial 25 or 30-year overnight success story. They didn't really come from much necessarily, and they aspired maybe to being financially independent, but for many clients, it was even more significant than they thought it would ever become.
Right.
But okay, so let's shift to the why. So why is this such a significant unmet need? Like, why do so many people kick this can down the road, including financial advisors? Sure.
I think my conclusion on that is that it's anxiety and fear, that people are concerned that their kids or their beneficiaries, if they're not directly their children, are going to be ruined by too much wealth, and they get anxious. And then the advisor gets anxious because they don't want to do the wrong thing or give the wrong advice.